Hello guys, today mystery murder is from Iraq. It talks about a gay young guy from Iraq, and it's gonna reveal two mystery stories at one time. Two characters get killed and nobody has any clue or evidence of what happened and who did it, but at the end we will find out who did it. It talks about a controversial topic, or it involves gayness in the Middle East. Everybody thinks that they get beheaded or they don't exist or they are not allowed, but this story will tell it all. Shall we go and hear it? Let's go and listen to it. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, and let's start one of my unique real life stories. Today our story happened in 1988 in a city in Iraq. Probably a lot of you remember it. It's called Al-Mosul. Al-Mosul is a very big city, has a lot of sweet people and really nice, generous nation, and this story is gonna reveal two murder cases at one time. You know, in that culture, everybody knows everybody, and even if it's a big city, cities are divided into small towns here and there, or tribals, or especially back in the days. So everybody knows everybody. One day some people found a body floating on the river, Al-Furat River, I think, and they freaked out. This is not like a normal scene people see every day, and people rushed to the body. Some of them ran away, some of them start screaming. And back in the days, you know, there was no phone, so there was a massive crowd. By the time the police came, somebody went and probably drove or bike to them and told them there is a body by the river side. The police rushed to the crime scene, tried to look for any evidence, any clues, anything left, clothes or gunshots or anything. People thought it's just an accident, somebody got hurt or drawn or whatever it is, but it was a murder case because the police told everybody to step back, clear the area, because this is not an accident, this is a murder, because the body has 4 gunshots in it. Long story short, the body got taken to the morgue, and the coroner did an autopsy to collect more information about the case, so they have any clues. You know, back in the days they didn't have phones. They didn't have, probably only in Sweden. Sweden was one of the first countries on earth to have phones in the 80s or early 90s. But they didn't even have cameras. So they depended on clues around the case. Eventually somebody recognized the body, and they informed the family. Of course, they lost their minds. There was anger. There was a lot of sadness. The community was shocked. So the police has to do a lot of work to figure out who did this deed, which is really rare in that community to have somebody murdered like that. 4 shots, that's a lot. Like 1 is enough or 2, but 4, it means there is a revenge or something really big happened. Anyway, after they recognized the body name and the family name, they informed the family, and so the police started collecting information from anybody who knows this body. But they couldn't find anything about this person. Like, who did the deed? Nobody knew. And in the police station, they added this body to the unsolved cases, but they had all the information in it: who he used to work with, who know this person, and the police is gonna do more digging around the characters that used to live around this person, and gonna do more investigation and collect more data. Usually when a murder case happen, and if it's not solved, or there is a mystery around it, or even if there is a missed bodies or missing persons, the police station back in the days, there was no computers, so they have folders dated and organized that they can go back to. When this case happened, the head of the police station was really a smart, active guy. He went through the entire archives in the police station just to kill time and just to have an idea of what is new and what was old, and if he can solve any murder, or if there are any clues, or just for curiosity. So he was reading case by case that is related only to that town. He was reading names and reading stories and just getting general information. So when this case happened, and the police eventually got a hold of one of the jobs this guy used to do, and actually the autopsy stated that he died 2 days ago, and not just the day the people found him. So now after 2 days, it has been already 4 days since the incident happened. So when they went to question people at one of the jobs he was working, because he was like an independent contractor, he works in construction, so he had some friends here and there. A bunch of people got questioned from his 2 jobs. And one of his jobs, as I said, he used to work as a construction worker, like building homes and do this stuff, they carry dirt and set up tiles and build the blocks and stuff like that around the house. One of the workers, there were like 5 of them worked with him, but 2 of them were close friends with him. One of them was talking, like confirming strongly that this is one of my best friends. I don't know how this happened. This is crazy. And me and my other friend and the victim were really close friends, and they weren't a good bunch of friends. They were like one of those friends that they go, alcohol is not allowed in that culture, so they would sneak out, stay late at night. None of them was married, none of them had a serious life, and none of them was able to finish their education or get a good job, because they were drinking heavily every day, almost every single day, let alone the big partying they were doing in the weekends, because somebody has to pay for that for the alcohol, because it gets sneaked in, and once you sneak something in, it's way more, it costs way more than when you buy it from the market. Anyway, so this bunch of friends, they used to gather all the time and have fun and drink and get loose and just get stupid. So the police got a hold of and wanted to question the guy who confirmed that they are really close friends. So they put him in a corner in the police station, and they start asking him more questions, and he got really stressed out and nervous. I'm telling you from now, he is not a suspect, but they have to question him, and because of his body language, things got weird with the police station, and they had to pressure him to give them more information. And he declared that, we were close friends, but I don't know how this happened. I promise you it's not me, I didn't kill him. But he had some beef with our third friend, the bad triangle, as the report called him. The third friend, his name is Khalid. Khalid wasn't a good person, because he had some beef with the victim, and they weren't in good terms at the end of the friendship. But the other friend who got detained for questioning, who confirmed that they have a close relationship, He said, I mean, I don't want to be responsible for anything. I'm not saying he did it, but they had some beef between them and the relationship wasn't good at the end. I don't know what was between them, but you should know that Khalid is gay and he has adventures here and there. And I don't know. Just go and question him. Of course, the police rushed to Khalid, questioned him, and asked him what's going on. And this was the initial interrogation for everybody. And he didn't say anything. He was so confident he didn't do anything. But again, his body language was weird. And the police couldn't get anything out of him. He said, like the previous friend, we're just friends. And this is what happened. The police, after that, went back to the police station and reported to the head of the policemen, the guy who I told you he was just curious about the previous unsolved cases and missing personnel and was reading about them. They gave him all the details, and the head of the police was saying, oh wow, I feel like I know this person. His name doesn't sound strange at all. I wonder who this guy is and how I know of him, or how did his name is not strange to me. So he asked the police officers to go and ask that guy to come back to the police station to be questioned by the head of the police. The head of the police asked him for his IDs, told him to sit down because he's going to question him. And before he asked him any question, he saw his name, and it was like a known family name. And he told him, have you ever reported anything to the police station? And the guy says, yeah, I did. My younger brother, 15 years old, went missing. So I did report it 4 years ago or 2 years ago, I forgot. But it was a couple years ago, and his body is not yet found. So I had to report it to the police station, and that's how... and the head of the police says, oh, now I know where I know you from, so your name must be in our records. And Khalid says, yes, I did come here once, and I did report that incident. Have you heard anything, sir? And the police officer said, no, we didn't hear anything. We are not here for your brother missing case. You are here for another case, which is the body that we found on the bank of the river. Do you know, again, I'm gonna question you. I'm gonna question you again, because Khalid interrupted him when he was talking and said, I told you everything I have. I have nothing else to say. He used to be a friend, and this is not me who did it. The police officer told him, well, we have to do our job, and I still ask you, since you were close to him, and probably you were the last person to see him, and the murder happened recently, just 4 days ago, and 4 days ago this guy was working with you guys. So any information you are going to give us, it's going to help. And it was so obvious that Khalid was sweating, he was stressed out, he didn't look normal, he was fidgety. And the police officer told him, how do you know this guy, the victim? And Khalid says, well, our relationship goes back in the days when we used to go out, and when we used to drink together and just be stupid, and that's it. So who killed him? I don't know. I'm telling you, I have nothing to do with this, and that's all I have. So the police officer didn't want to pressure him anymore. He want to get more information, then will attack him and see where he can trick him to talk more, because he was depending on mistakes usually criminals do, because they lie a lot. They cannot remember their lies, or sometimes they say dumb shit that leads to the police to confirm that they are the one who did it. So he wanted to collect more data. Again, he went back to where the victim was working and started interrogating in person every single friend he met. And again, that guy, his name is Muhammad. Muhammad is the one who confirmed that they know each other. The bad triangle, that they drink together and they have wild adventures together, and confirmed that Khalid is gay. He again told the head of the police everything again, and he told him that Khalid has beef with the victim, and he doesn't know why it happened, but he thinks that because he's gay. And he added more information. He didn't think it's important, but it was important, very important. He told the head of the police, well, Khalid has a brother that went missing. He kind of was of an interest to the victim because he was also gay. The victim who died, he was also gay. And when the conflict happened between the victim and Khalid, I think that the victim went and wanted to take revenge, and he wanted to get Khalid, brother, like do the sodomy with him or do something with him, the taboo thing. And I think something happened back then. Either the fight was bigger or something happened. We stopped seeing each other after that. So the police immediately called Khalid back again to the police station and made him and Muhammad sit together and told Khalid, we know everything about your conflict between you and the victim. We know everything about you and your brother and the victim. So either you talk now or you're going to be in big trouble. We know you did it. We know everything. Khalid didn't know that his friend didn't say anything. He thought that his friend figured out the thing and told the police more than he should, and that he's in trouble. And of course, when people are not used to do a criminal act all the time, they tend to be afraid or scared, and they collapse, because human nature is still a human nature, and ending someone's life is not a pleasant event, and it's not easy to anybody, even to criminals themselves. So usually they collapse and tell the truth, and that's why the police pressure people sometimes. Because if they have a hope, a slight hope they attach to, that they think they will get away with the lie, eventually they give up on that hope. And that's what happened to Khalid. So he collapsed. He said, I didn't mean it to be like this. It was under a moment of anger, severe anger, because you don't know what the victim did to my brother. And then he started telling the sad story of Khalid's brother, the other victim, who passed away or disappeared 4 or 2 years ago. Khalid started the story stating that I had some beef with the victim, and he wouldn't let it go. It was his fault. I don't want him to be around my family or around anybody, but he insisted. And eventually he tried to approach my brother. He invited him late at night to where we usually used to gather and do the forbidden deed, which is sneaking alcohol and having their red nights and partying in an abandoned house that was outside the town in one of these farms. Because Iraq is a big oasis. It has a lot of palm trees and trees. It's really green area because of the river, supply of river. It's like the Nile River. Everything around it is green. So they have been in an abandoned house, gathering there, having alcohol and their fun time. He said he took my brother one day, seduced him to go there, claiming he want to spend some time with him or just invite him for dinner. When he tried to commit the deed with him and get him. My brother came back home, escaped somehow. The victim teared out my brother clothes. My brother came to me crying and freaking out. And at a moment of anger, I didn't believe my brother. I thought he is doing something with the victim who used to be my friend. And I just wanted to scare my brother, so by accident, a bullet escaped from the gun I was carrying, and it just landed in his heart. It was Godwill. I didn't mean it. It was a mistake. I didn't know what to do, so I buried my brother in the farm, in that same farm, and I claimed that he's just disappeared, just to save the family of the drama and the hustle, or myself from jail and from my family losing 2 kids at the same time. And I was so angry at that friend that I could not let it go. So as soon as we had our last fight, and I had the chance to have him alone, I just shot him with a gun just to get rid of him and wash, what they call it in that culture, honorary killing. And since it's an honorary killing, it's considered like what the Western world call it in the crime department, slaughter. The reason of the killing is slaughter. So they don't get the death penalty or lifetime in a prison. It gets reduced because it was done under anger. So that's what happened, and that's how 2 murder stories got solved in one time. And after Khalid told the police everything he knows about what happened to his brother and what happened to the victim that got found by the bank of the river, the story got closed, and the police officer went to read more stories. The Khalid got sentenced to life in a prison for killing 2 people, one by mistake and one considered slaughter. That's the end of our story, but that we had a story related to gayness and all the propaganda and all the speculations around that topic in that part of earth. People there are sinners like anywhere on earth. They commit all types of sins. They do things they're not supposed to do. They drink, they go out with girls, they steal, they do everything. But when it comes to things that affects the society, it's a red line nobody should cross. The family comes first, not the individual, like the capitalist society. The individual comes first. In those societies, the family and the community comes first. So anything that causes confusion or chaos or disturbance to the society, it's forbidden to be taken to public. So if someone want to be gay or want to be transgender or have any type of surgery, or if he want to have women outside of marriage contract, it all has to be done behind the closed doors and outside the society. Once you go out and declare it and make it public and just talk about it and do it in public, you get arrested and the law will apply to you. As long as you keep it secret, nobody knows about it, you don't take it out to public, you are fine. It's between you and God. So that's take us to what's going on in Dubai. You know, Dubai is a liberal country. Alcohol is allowed there for foreigners, and but a lot of people ended up in jail because they don't know that. They go on a drink, they think it's like like the Western countries or any other country that's not in the Gulf area or Middle East. You can go and be drunk in the streets or get drink and go out. And that's when people get arrested and get taken to jail for 3 days, and it's considered a felony, and some of them get deported or sometimes they get blacklisted and they never get the visa again easily. And that's when people should be careful. If you go to Dubai or to any country that provide alcohol or anything, you just stay in where you get the alcohol until you sober up. You don't take alcohol out with you, and you don't leave the place intoxicated. Got it? Otherwise, you will be facing jail and arrest. I guess that's the end of our story, and hope I added some valuable information to you today. Let me know what you think in the comments, or if you have any special requests. Please like and subscribe if you are new to my channel. It helps the logarithm with YouTube spreading my channel. That would be nice. And take care until the next story. Bye bye.